I'd like to call to order the September 8th regular monthly board meeting. Ms. Meeker, will you call the roll?
Yeah.
Yep.
She will.
On it.
Ms. Boucher.
Here.
Ms. Campbell. Here. Ms. Hastings.
Here.
Ms. Higgins.
Here.
Mr. Richards.
Here.
Ms. Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Sadowski.
Here.
Ms. Walsh.
Here.
And I am here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. I just want to note this is the first meeting where the whole board is gathered together since the passing of Superintendent Murphy. And I'd like to ask just for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. And thank you to the Concord High students who came and performed at her funeral this weekend. It was lovely.
It was amazing.
Yes, really did a beautiful job. Next item is approval of the agenda. I would like to move the vote to after capital facilities, if there's no objection to that.
Seconded.
Any further items to add, discuss? Oh, and to move public comment to where the vote was, because we normally do public comment before votes.
So public comment will go from 10 to
6.
6. Okay.
Any other?
What vote is on what?
The public capital facilities will be
Capital
6, vote
facilities.
is 7.
Okay, good.
If we
Yep,
decide to
yep,
take one.
good.
Any other things? All those, all of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, I'll take a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Richards. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hastings. Is there discussion?
Yes, I just have some corrections that
Okay.
I'd like to propose.
Mm-hmm.
On the building committee, August 7th, the second page, under geotechnical report, this is just technical here. The Concord Hospital construction project, it should read New Hampshire Hospital Construction Project, 2 different hospitals. And then 3 bullets down from that, committee members were concerned about the impact of the support XXX. I don't know what that was supposed to have been, but needs to be filled in. And then the final that I asked to look at is on the City and Community Relations Committee meeting on August 18th. Second page, almost near the end, upcoming events, it said items that are sustainable, such as magnets. Magnets are not sustainable. Just to be clear, there were 2 things discussed there. I had requested that if there were giveaways, that the giveaways be, sustainable giveaways, not little plastic toys. Magnets came up as a second suggestion of the school calendar or school telephone numbers.
So I think both of these probably need some rewriting then, especially the thing that's missing. So would we like to remove these from the consent agenda and send them back?
Yes, while we're making corrections, if
Okay.
on page 15, building committee minutes, the last bullet on the page, the current school building is within 20 feet of the existing school, I would assume that would mean property line.
Which paragraph? is it?
Page 15, final bullet, the design is more compact, more efficient, 3 floors to make it more compact and efficient.
The new school building
The-
would be within 20 feet.
The current school building is within 20 feet of the existing school.
It's a new, would be
It's
within
supposed to be
20.
new.
Current should
I-
say new.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Would be within 20 feet of
I
the existing
appreciate
school.
that.
Okay, so let us, would you make a motion to remove building committee and city and community from the consent agenda?
Yes.
Moved by Ms. Boucher, is there a second?
Seconded.
Second by Ms. Sadowski. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Would you consider making a motion to send these back to be revised?
I'm going to make a motion to send these 2 committee meeting minutes back to be revised.
Okay, is there a second?
Seconded.
Moved by Ms. Boucher, second by Ms. Sadowski. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. So then the remainder of the consent agenda is the regular monthly meeting of August 4th. the Communications and Policy Committee of August 11th, Instructional of August 13th, Executive Committee of August 18th, City and Community Relations of August 18th, Capital Facilities of August 25th. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Robinson, seconded by Ms. Higgins. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Our next item is our student report. We're excited to welcome back our senior, Erin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be back for my second year as student representative for the Concord School District. We have started the new school year at CHS and recently had the club fair to help promote all the clubs we have to offer at the high school. Homecoming will be this Saturday, September 27th, along with the homecoming parade and football game being before then. We will also have our first pep rally of the school year on September 26th. This week, all the students at CHS will have their first week of advisory and WIN on Thursday and Friday. Back to school night will also be on September 11th at the high school. I would now like to acknowledge the former superintendent, Miss Murphy, and all of the work she has put into the school district. I had the honor to perform with the chamber choir and CHS orchestra seniors at the former superintendent's funeral this past Friday. Thank you to not only the former superintendent, but also the school board for giving me the opportunity to use my voice and for listening to what I have to say each meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Erin.
Mr. Herbert.
Thank you. So starting off with reports on the opening day. We started this past August 25th. Staff returned back to school. We did begin with professional development right out of the gate, which I know is not the most opportune time to do it. We were looking at artificial intelligence and how it can support educators in the work they're doing, as well as in the future how it does impact education and to how we can use it to teach students, one, appropriate use, and to integrate it into instructional practices. So when students move on from the district, that they are aware of ethical use of artificial intelligence, because they are encountering it, whether they're going into the workforce, military, or post-secondary institutions, they will encounter artificial intelligence. That's just the reality. So we began with some professional development with staff around that, and they had opportunities for breakout sessions, tailored to areas of interest or level of proficiency that they felt they had with it. We had 3 different presenters who offered some guidance, and staff had opportunities to use some tools, learn how it could be used in their instructional planning process. Our idea is a bit of an education of the teachers and instructors who are going to use it, so they can use it in their own practices to have a better understanding of how it could be integrated into instruction and support students in using it. So teach the teachers first and get them confident in the tools we can use to support our students.
I went to the opening presentation. It was really interesting, and as with most things with AI, a little terrifying.
It was eye-opening is an easy way of putting it. It is interesting what the new frontier for our students will look like in the next few years. From there, faculty had opportunities in their building. Most buildings held some welcome back to school gathering with their staff. Day 2, we did our opening ceremony at Memorial Field. Many of you were in attendance. Again, it was highlighted by great musical performances by a marching band, combined choir from RMS and CHS. It was a great show of the learning that's going on in our schools and our music program. And that's not, oftentimes Mr. Cohen will remind me, that's not a reflection of just CHS, that's our K through 12 music program. So thank you for your support there. And then from day 2, staff were able to go back to the building and work on building level work, whether it was setting up classrooms, faculty meetings, or other housekeeping items they had to do to prepare for the opening of schools. I will say, having an opportunity to tour just about every single school before opening day, that the summer crews did an amazing job preparing the facilities for students to come back and staff to come back. Despite all the construction at Concord High School, it was ready to receive students. So Aaron, would you agree?
For years,
You can undo that if you want.
So they are still working on, this is part of the implementation process of the new HVAC system. They're going to be taking readings, the system as it's in the computer, as it takes in the readings, it will adjust, and over time it will become more regulated. Matt, would you say? It's a good, yeah, balanced. But it is going to give us some cooler air than we've ever had before in the building. So
you'll be happy in June.
good for those warmer months.
And in future Septembers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, and students returned on the 26th and 27th. They had an opportunity. A lot of schools I got to go watch their welcoming students back celebrations. At the high school, there was class meetings, RMS, greeting the kids as they came into the building. Beaver Meadow has a whole ceremonial piece to welcoming the students back. So it was great to see how the different schools, staff welcome kids back into the building and to start the academic school year. I do know there were some hiccups with transportation. That is ironing out, the different routes, the number of students on the bus. We had a lot. When I say a lot, over 100 late enrollments, and that when I say late, like late August enrollments into our schools, so that gets dispersed across our buses. In addition to that, we had we were down bus drivers. We have in the process, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, 6 bus drivers, 1 CDL, and seven.
Yep.
In training right now. As they come online, it's only going to get better. But right now, from what I'm hearing from the principals is that we get a consistent timetable of students arriving and pickups right now from the school is predictable. They continue to look at the loads on the bus and the stops to try and fine tune it in the meantime. But as soon as the additional 7 drivers are up and running, that should help immensely get us.
And how many of those are CDL versus non-CDL, Jeff?
There's 2 CDL and the rest are non-CDL at the
And how
moment.
many short CDL are we short?
We have 28 drivers and we budget for 45. So
How many
we
did we
got-
have last year?
How many did we have last year? 29.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're
20
about where we
29, yeah, about that, 29 to 31. That's about what we had. They oscillate. So, but we're getting there. We do have a fleet now of 7 non-CDL versus last year we had 3. So we do have that, and we're getting there.
Any questions on opening day? No, thank you. Thank you. Next, some summer school updates, and I'm going to have, this is going to go, tag team this with Kim. Sorry, that's a Freudian slip from my former partner. Summer school update, talk about ESY as well as the summer programming. I wanted to take a moment to highlight, and I can't understate how successful this 9th grade transition program's been at Concord High School. It's for 4 days, student comes, they do earn a quarter elective credit, but it is geared at acclimating them to a very large building. And they're not just coming from RMS, they're coming from Strong Foundations, other charter schools, Shaker Road, St. John's, so various, Deerfield as well. So they're coming from up to 5 or more sending schools. So when they arrive, that building is massive. So during the time there, they do get an opportunity to walk their schedules they're going to have. They get to meet a number of the teachers they will have. They get to meet the administrative team, the counseling team. They get affiliated with where their house is, so they know where to go when they need support and services, or if they need a change in their schedule. And they get to meet a number of the support staff that you're going to have to go to for a variety of reasons at the high school. So when they walk in on the following Wednesday, or this year ended up being the following Wednesday, but when they walked in on their first day of school, they were familiar with that building. In addition to that, students coming from schools that such as Shaker Village or St. John's, who might not have had a large grouping of friends at the high school, get to know other students. They actually will, by the time they leave, know what students are in some of their classes. And in addition to that, yep, we had, I think it was about 100 what we call student leaders. which are current CHS students who go through our leadership training that we do in the spring to prep them to lead student groups during this four-day excursion. We do it for 2 weeks. And what happens is they also get to begin associating with a student who has navigated and been successful at Concord High, who can be a resource to them that is within their peer group beyond just the adults at the building. So they're entering with trusted adults that they know, as well as peers that they can go to. So we've gotten a tremendous amount of feedback on this. And this past year, we had 275 of the 318 incoming freshmen participate in all 4 days. So I just think it just speaks to the success we're having and how parents will begin reaching out even before we get to the 8th grade parent information night in the spring. They'll start reaching out in March and April. When are the dates coming out? Now, I know part of it is for summer planning, but the other part of it is that they want their student to attend it. They see it as a valuable program. And just another thing to highlight, and this summer with CHS and our competency-based model, we've had a number of students that just missed the cusp of earning credit for courses, and they get extended the opportunity to come and do it during the summer. We had a good participation rate, and over 115 credits were recovered this summer. So that means they will not have to retake a class, will not have to sit, and we do have opportunities for recovery during the year, but it allows them to continue on with the course of studies. And of that 115, this is a huge number to emphasize. 111 of those credits were earned sitting with a certified teacher, going through instruction, reassessment, and with the content that they needed to learn. Only a few access programs such as Plato or other programs that we had to do the recovery. So I think that's huge, just speaks volumes of what our teachers can do when they have time with the students. Kim, turn this over to you.
Thank you. I had much of the same to share. I just have some numbers for you. We have run 2 programs in the summer. One is the extended school year program, and the other is Title I for grades K through 8. And I don't have comparison numbers for you, but I can tell you that we had a total of 148 students attending extended learning opportunities that would mean that they qualify through having an individual education plan. The range from schools that were represented, all schools had the program, were between 11 students and 38 students. So you can imagine, Concord High actually had the highest number of 38. So we do ESY at Concord High. And the lowest number was at Abbott Downing School with 11 students attending. For our Title I program, for those schools that are eligible, we had a total of 248 students attend. And the representation at the different schools was between 24 and 53 students at each school. So those are high numbers, and at the opening day ceremony, I asked the persons who had worked over the summer to stand up and be recognized. And I really want to thank the educators who took the time in their summers to work with these kiddos when sometimes it's very hot and uncomfortable. Concord High students were all at Runlet Middle School due to the HVAC system being repaired. So that was another factor, and also considering their access to air conditioning. So that had to take into consideration that. And then, as Tim mentioned, with the high school, the 275 ninth graders that earned a quarter of a credit, that was 88% of the incoming ninth graders that attended. Mm-hmm. And in terms of the credits that were earned, I just wanted to point out that the students who participated in the lab-based, which is computer-based opportunity to retrieve competencies, was 7% of that student population. So that's a pretty low percent to see. Typically in the past, it's been between 8 and 10%. So overall, I would say we had a very successful summer program.
Well done, team.
Good job.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, that's attributed to the buildings. Each building has their summer coordinator or the special ed ESY coordinator. And I just can't speak to how detailed they are and thoughtful they are in coordinating those services. So, next is the middle school update. On August 7th, there was a building committee meeting, and they reviewed the following: design update, geotechnical reports and results, discussed potential next steps, and potential tax incentives and rebates. Did you read these word?
Yeah,
Yep.
minutes where they talked about them again.
Gotcha. And then, due to scheduling conflicts, the August 7th meeting was not recorded, however, the meetings were published. Then we have scheduled this week for September 10th, another building committee meeting, and it will be going over provide an updated cost estimate, the value engineering options for the current site, and cost and tax impact, as well as some other items to review.
And board members are certainly invited to attend, and I believe Concord TV is able to make
They will
this.
be recorded.
Thank you.
And that's at 5:30 here?
That's at 5:30 here.
Wednesday.
Next, I'm going to invite Mr. Cohen, Gabe Cohen, up. This is our district band, actually, music coordinator?
Yeah, performing arts coordinator.
Performing arts coordinator. I'm sorry, Gabe. I just call you Gabe.
I do first names with everybody, so give it time.
What do you want me to do
You-
with this? Just pass
Go-
this around?
Yep,
or-
go right ahead.
Okay.
Gabe's going to
I made
present.
15 copies.
We received a sizable donation from the Walker Lecture Series to support our spring concerts across the district. So Gabe, I invited to present, and he's sharing out a little bit of how we spent this money in the past and where it goes to.
So I guess I'm here to kind of celebrate that we have a wonderful organization called the Walker Lecture Series in town. And they have graciously donated $16,000 to the school district for us to be able to put on our March concerts. Part of their bylaws state that any concert or performance that they sponsor has to be free. There's a bunch of things, so we fall within the category. Those of you who maybe have heard the Nevers Band play, I know they sponsor Nevers Band. I'm not sure of everything that they do, but I know those are two things that I'm involved with that they also give money to. So they have graciously donated $16,000 for us to be able to do our concerts in March. The sheet that you have is, I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of Gabe Cohen shady math, but
We call
But-
that girl math on my side of the table.
you can go with that too. There's a lot of nuance to to what we do. Every concert that we give at the high school is not on site. I lied. We do one in the gym, but every concert, we got 5 that we do at the Capitol Center every year, and then we do one in Eagle Square. We try and find different places. Our next concert in October is at the City Auditorium. So every concert we have to rent a U-Haul. I spend my entire day loading the truck, bringing it to the U-Haul, bringing it to the Capitol Center or wherever our concert is and all that stuff. We have to pay for, instead of U-Haul, we have to pay for accompanists. There's all kinds of other things that pop up. And then also for the March concerts, our band and the orchestra, we bring in, that's a district concert. I don't know if you guys have been there. So that's a 5 through 12 concert. So we bring in the elementary kids, there's dress rehearsals, we feed them lunch. There's just costing that come up with that. So just wanted to kind of share that we have this opportunity to have free concerts for our students. They have to be off-site.
Thank you, Gabe. Given the size of the donation, it does require a board vote of approval to accept.
Does it require a motion?
Yeah, I move we accept
The donation.
Yeah.
I move we accept the Walker Lecture donation of
Oh, I didn't know I needed that. I'm
$16,000.
glad I hadn't cashed the check yet.
I move we accept it post check cashing, right?
Free check cashing.
Free check cashing.
Moved by Ms. Higgins, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Robinson, is there discussion?
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. And I assume we'll send a very nice thank you note to the folks at the Walker Electric.
While we're-
Oh, we do. Well, yeah, we've got a process. This is not the first year we've done it. This was just the first year it was brought to my attention that anything over a certain dollar amount needed to come to you guys. So,
While we have Mr. Cohen here,
Yeah.
Mr. Cohen, notice I called him Mr.
oh my
Cohen.
goodness.
So we mentioned, and our wonderful student rep mentioned that Concord High performed at Kathleen's funeral. I would like to point out to anyone who didn't get to listen, is they didn't just perform. The students that sang 5 songs throughout the funeral service.
Yeah, they were part-
that they were part of the service. You would have thought it was the choir of the church singing hymns and songs that I am quite sure they didn't grow up singing. And in talking to Bryn after, I stood by the bus sobbing, telling them thank you. One of the singers Bryn mentioned that they'd had really just 2 rehearsals, that they went home and they practiced and they sang those songs by themselves. So look at me, I'm getting teary-eyed here, but my point is, we have an amazing music program, and in a time where things like the arts are being cut, this is a classic example of how important singing and dancing and playing instruments and all of that is to helping people feel better. It was amazing. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
So-
it was true. Yeah, the chorus class had 1 or 2 classes.
Yeah.
Orchestra, they practiced for like a half hour. I
Yeah.
think I gave them on.
I kept turning around
Wednesday.
thinking, oh, they must have a choir here too. How would they have learned this song? And they learned it. It was stunning.
They did a great job. We're very fortunate. We have a lot of very talented students and a lot of great support in town. We're very grateful.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Gabe.
That's nice.
Next.
I just want, do I need to stay?
No.
Very good,
You
Gabe.
must stay.
You're gonna have to ask Dr. Howard here.
Once you're here, you're locked.
We're gonna let you leave.
Next, I'm going to open it up for up to 30 minutes of public testimony. There is a sign-up sheet. I ask you to sign in if you would like to testify. Please keep your remarks under 5 minutes.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Charles Russell, Ward 5 in Concord. I couldn't sleep the other night, so I put on Channel 6 and I saw a meeting that was on tape, and I heard some discussion about selling property at the Eastman School, which is probably a good idea. But my thought was, and I said, let's look at the charter to see what the recently passed amendment says, and talks about the voters approving the sale of the school, not putting the school up for sale. So I would suggest that, if the committee wants to vote to put it up, or consider putting it up for sale, it would not, I don't think, you could speak with your own counsel, but I wouldn't think it was just, oh, by the way, we're going to sell it and we'll do it the way we please. I think the way that article was drafted, and I participated with several others, was that you go to the people, you say, we're gonna sell this, it's gonna be sold to this, the neighbors can be aware of what it is, et cetera. So listing the property, putting up for sale is one thing. The voters would be, as I read it, and it was intended, would be to vote on what it's being sold for and what the use is gonna be. If somebody was gonna put something that was appropriately zoned but maybe offensive to the neighborhood, the neighbors might certainly want to have a vote on that. So that's the only thought I have. The other thing is, when I looked up the charter, those new amendments aren't in there, and I think online, I think it's important, since the vote has passed them, that those two be added in there. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charlie.
Anyone else? Seeing none? Hearing, Ms. Wolf, will you make sure that the new amendments are in the charter online, please? Thank you. That brings us to capital facilities. We'll start with the summer project updates. Mr. Cashman, I assume?
So at that meeting, we reviewed quite a few of the work that was being done over the summer. The HVAC project that we did, we talked about a variety of flooring replacements that we did throughout the district, as well as, in that same vein, district painting for all of the schools, exterior and interior. We did a project that was fairly significant at Beaver Meadow at the service entry repair that we had shown for several years pictures of. We were able to accomplish that. And then just to roll it up, lastly, the Bow Brook culvert replacement. I think our last meeting I had recommended, due to the delays that we incurred through New Hampshire DES, we were saying, let's push this off until next summer. And if there was an emergency, we could jump right on it. But I think with the backing and support of the board and administration, we were able to talk to our contractor, get that job started, and it completed the Friday before we started school, which was, Merrill Construction, a crew of about 5 people. They worked extremely hard into, 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night, hit it first thing in the morning, and did a great job. I can't say enough about it, but I'm very relieved and happy that we have that project behind us.
The HVAC system at the high school, I've seen on Nextdoor some complaints from neighbors about noise level. What are we doing about those issues?
Mid last week, we had a third-party industrial hygienist come out, meet with myself and a couple of representatives from Train. They did some decibel readings in about, let's refer to my notes real quick. I know I write them for a reason. Not finding them. In about 7 or 8 different locations, both next to the building and then at different property areas. That report should be back to us in the next week or so, and then we'll look at analyzing those results with the local ordinances. We tested that system through its paces, so we put it on full operation, which we typically wouldn't do, but we wanted to see what a max decibel reading was. Then we took it to normal operation, and then we brought it down to actually reduce the load, because it's the chiller that we believe that the sound is coming from, and that is only operational in the summer months or when it's extremely warm out. So we operated that chiller, which can healthily be done with one of the 2 fan units, and we got readings on that. So once we get all those readings back, we plan to look at the operations schedule and see how we can minimize the impact and stay within the ordinance. But again, we still have some work to do to look at the numbers and see what's going on.
While we're talking about the high school and the HVAC system, I went up to see the culvert the other day and really looked at the building, and I was surprised at how tall off the roof, how high the HVAC system goes. Are we going to be doing something with that, or is that how high it will always be?
That's how high it is. It's all mounted to, they call it dunnage, the steel frame. Those units, remember, those are dehumidified air units, so they have a lot more capacity. They dehumidify the air versus bringing it straight in, filtering it, and bringing it into school. So what you see is what you get.
Okay. Is there anything that we can do to make it, I didn't think it was very attractive, but.
Paint murals on it?
Yes.
Oh,
Maybe,
actually, that's
maybe.
a bad idea.
Get those art students out there. I don't know. I didn't know if there were any plans for that, or if that is what the plan had been for it to be.
At the moment, no. I mean, those are typical outside HVAC units. I know when we talk about the middle school, we did it at the 3 elementaries back in 2012. A lot of times they're encapsulated. Sometimes there's screening. But again, those types of measures are, cost money. So at present, there's no plans to do anything different.
Getting a look from Liz.
I think, just to comment on that, I think a lot of capital facilities is a balance between form and function.
Yes.
And and I think that we can appreciate that we have functioning HVAC
Yes.
primarily first, and then.
I do remember that at one point, a couple of years ago, we did talk about whether we would encapsulate the new units because it makes them last longer, which is why we
Sure.
did it at the elementary schools and would like to do it potentially at the middle school. And yeah, I don't know, whatever, I know if the roofs aren't built for it, it can be not.
So we were talking about it earlier today.
And that might
This whole planning process was 18 months in the works. We knew with these types of dehumidified air units, with the amount that we had to put on and then the capacity we needed to build, we knew that we had to do a structural analysis. So we did do a structural analysis for what is there. If we were to build an encapsulated building structure of some sort around it, a lot more analysis would be. It'd be too early to say whether or not the building and the foundation and the levels and the floors are structurally sound enough to be able to add that amount of weight. But, I mean, nothing's impossible. We can look at
Well,
those.
if it doesn't bother people, then I think it's fine, but it was just, I was surprised when I saw it and really looked at it.
Maybe blow up palm trees around it.
Rooftop gardens.
There you go.
My ideas are going now.
Yeah, they
A
are.
new arts alley.
Yes,
question?
yes, Mr. Cashman, just to follow up for the sake, I know the answer to this because I was chairing that meeting, but for the sake of the board, I just wanted to ask you and reiterate the fact that we recently, relatively recently, replaced the roof of the high school, and any of the work that we did today did not in any way compromise the warranty or the integrity of the roof, and just asking your reassurance on that.
Sure, yeah, that's a great question to ask. Before we started the project, Train being the overall general contractor for the project and having all the sub-consultants to the project under their charge, we also had Carlisle Roofing that, Garland Roofing, I'm sorry, we have a Carlisle warranty on other schools. Garland Roofing came, were introduced to the whole project, and before anything on the roof was touched, any penetrations put in, any enclosures and sealed open areas that, because of these, that was all warranted and reviewed, and there's a whole report on it. So, short answer, which I didn't give you, is yes.
Good. And then I'd just like to thank you and your team. I've been on capital facilities off and on for the entire career at the school board. This is probably one of the most ambitious summer projects schedules that we have had to undertake, short of the steam replacement, but they did a really good job. And the fact that you were able to get the culvert done prior to school is commendable, and I just want to thank you all for that.
Yeah.
I'll pass that along, thank you.
The next item, this is capital facilities, was, I had made a motion that we sell the Eastman School. Mr. Russell's interpretation is different than I have understood and was told by proponents of it during last year's election. I debated Mr. Cooper at one point, who told me, no, this would not slow you down in any way. But that being said, I understand that even if we pass this amendment, this proposal tonight, we would not be able to get it on the ballot in time.
Correct.
So,
But could we pass it? Oh, we're not discussing.
well, I was gonna suggest that we hold, I would like to move to table it to October, and we can consult with our legal counsel on his interpretation of the charter amendment. If anyone.
Could I get clarification on why we think this couldn't make it on the ballot for November?
We believe there needs to be a 10-day notification. Well, if the 15th is the last day, the ballots need to be, everything needs to be in for the ballots. You're less than 10 days right now.
Have we confirmed that with the city clerk?
No, it was with legal counsel,
Okay.
Dean's backup, because there has to be a hearing, and from my understanding. He'll be back from Africa on the 15th, but that's what their interpretation was. Some RSAs, so.
Okay.
Okay, so,
So the fact
If
that our
that's
meeting was
different
a
when I
little
give
late
them-
this month because of the holiday, sort of. I made a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Boucher. Is there discussion?
My apologies. Was there a motion on the table to table?
I made the motion.
You made the motion to table.
Table.
Right, but do we have an active
Oh,
motion?
no, that's true. We
We
don't.
do not
So
have
we
an
don't.
active.
So I'm not going to bring it forward unless
Okay.
anyone wants to. That's a good point. Thank you, Ms. Meeker. All right, next we have, anything else that you wanted to discuss from capital facilities, Mr. Richards?
The only thing that occurred in that meeting, other than what has already been reported, is that the committee did not bring forward an owner's project manager recommendation at this time for the middle
Do
school.
you want to?
Essentially, we looked at several bids or proposals. They were all fairly significant and fairly wide-ranging. Mr. Cashman has already done this in the past for our prior schools. We have hired an assistant in the past year and a half to work with Mr. Cashman so that he would be freed up to be able to do that position. He's experienced, he's certified. I would not bring it forward now because I don't think it's a wise expenditure of funds.
And that was the unanimous
That was the-
position
of the committee.
Committee.
Yes. So,
We did discuss that, there might be need for an additional finance assistant to help with managing the billing and things like that on the
Great,
project.
yes. So, that's it. Thank you.
Ms. Campbell, Finance. Or Mr. John.
Pass this over to Mr. Dunn.
Okay, so in here is the first 2 months. So it's not really from what we plan to spend and encumbering is not up to date because this payroll that's processing this week is the first payroll where we encumber our September 1st through August 31st collective bargaining agreements. So when you see salaries for employees covered by CEA and you see a available balance of 32 million, that is not the case because contracts have not stepped up and we have not encumbered that money. So that will all happen by this Friday, and then October is typically very similar to the enrollment reports. This will be much more of a path of where we're going. There are some negatives in the salary lines, which tells me that there are some people that are not staffed or put into the proper account. Like when I look at technical being 57,000 negative, but I see salaries for central office at a positive 262. There's some pay screens that are not right, and we'll clean all that up. So this should all even out next month. Other than that, there isn't much else to report, at least at the general fund at the moment. But Ellen Desmond is here to give a little bit more highlight at the federal level of our, and state maybe, right? More federal.
One
yeah.
little motion, yeah, mention of state. In your packets, you've got a copy of, I believe, what was correct as of the 3rd. And then, of course, the second I sent something to Bridget, we got notification of some of our additional formula funds as well. So we'll make sure that the revision is up to date in there. But the long and short of it is that you can see our allocations are down on the whole. A large factor of that, similar to adequacy funding, is that our average daily attendance or average daily membership ADM attendance numbers are down. And there's also just talk at the federal level, as you probably have heard from the news, about where all this money is coming and going and all of that. So it's a fun time to be in federal funds. Our applications, however, have all been approved. So our IDEA, that's our special education funding at the federal level, that has all been approved. We have a significant number of special educators in that, wrapped up in that funding stream, so that's great that came through on time. Our ESEA, that's our entitlement grants, Title I, Title II, so on and so forth. That has all been approved, and our Perkins allocation has been approved by the Department of Ed. That's a new thing that they're doing. It's only the second year that they have had us pre-apply, and then we have to take all of that information and put it into our grants management system. It's a lot of keying things in. But the good thing is everything that we proposed is evidence-based, it's been approved. So at least programmatically, we're in good shape. The one thing of note that is different from prior years is that we are now getting 2 installments. We get an installment in July, and then we get, once the federal fiscal year rolls over, we get another installment in October. That makes it a little bit challenging to budget for the whole year. We do get a preliminary allocation, which you've seen, I believe, in prior months. I keep a spreadsheet, you can see things year over year, and you can see that in your second slide as well. So those preliminary allocations are really broken down into a July installment and an October installment.
When did that start?
This year is the
And
first
what
time.
is the reason for that? Do we have an answer?
My understanding is that it's really about the money that's accessible at the state level. So sometimes, like for instance, Title IV-A, we got our whole allocation in July because the state has enough money sitting in its coffers to fund all Title IV-A programs.
Okay, so it's the state has to
If they have
advance the
cash
money.
flow,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly. Which technically they really, until it comes out at the federal level, then they shouldn't be passing it down to us.
Yep.
Yeah. So I understand how that works, but as I was telling our admin team today, the proportions are all different, right? So Title I, we got 41% of what our total allocation is going to be. That's a random number, hard to predict how much we're really going to spend in September and October before we get the balance of our money. So it's a lot of lots of conversations with building admins, lots of conversation with our CO team in here internally, just to make sure all the money's in the right place. But I think we're in good shape. But yeah, the contracting and the hiring and things like that, right? There's definitely some concern about taking on big contracts and hiring new tutors and things like that when we are feeling a little uncomfortable about where the funding's coming from. I think the biggest 2 right now are our SAMHSA grants. Those 2, it's $2.5 million annually between the 2 of them, and we have heard no word on continuation awards. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and it's not necessarily unusual. They do have until the end of the federal fiscal year to renew our funding. But it's not like, no news is not necessarily good news, but no news is also not bad news. We have, that's kind of the story of my life right now. I did reach out to Senator Hassan's office today with an update. So we do have the support of our representatives that are kind of, bringing this forward for us to put a little bit of pressure on the powers that be. We have made contingency plans, however, for the things that we know we need to keep doing for our students. And we should be able to, other things obviously would have to go, it's a domino effect. But obviously those decisions we would talk about internally before making any decisions about grant funded roles or programming, things like that. Yeah, that's my short and sweet. Any questions?
Ms. Campbell?
I just want to say thank you. To hear, right, how many districts, if like 2.5 million, is it going to come? We don't know. Yes, no, right? We are in a place that we don't have to worry about opening our doors in a month, and that's due to your hard work. And I'm just so grateful for you, Jack, the entire team. You make tough decisions to put us in a place where we know that we can provide a safe learning environment for all our kids. So thank you deeply.
Hear, hear.
Co-signed.
And to add to that, from what is publicly reported, it seems like some of the issues one of our neighboring school districts are facing is because of the very complicated and intense requirements of complying with federal grant requirements. And, if you don't comply with the grant requirements, they don't send the money. And and sometimes they come and take it back if you after the fact. So yes, I second Ms. Campbell that what you do is maybe underappreciated by the general public, but not by us.
Well, let me know if you have any other questions at any other time. We'll let you know when the rest of the money comes through.
Good
Thank
luck,
you.
honey.
Thank you.
Transportation, do we have more than the update from earlier?
I would just add that we have reposted the director of transportation position. We do have a couple new applicants, and we'll continue to work with the committee to screen through new applicants and hope that we can find the right candidate for the position.
Good luck.
Yeah, the only other thing is we're still working with the electric bus. We have finalized the amendment to our lease, which is really no increase in the cost of our lease. We just have some expenditures for paving and stuff that are gonna happen for an area that we've wanted for a number of years. It's a sign yard, but that's where the electric buses are going, and we'll solidify that and then move forward with trying to get all the infrastructure in place. You had last month already approved that amount of money, so we're in the process of trying to get this rolling. Again, that timeline is hopefully this month we get the infrastructure in the ground. That's the biggest thing we want to try to get through, because once they start picking up leaves, they don't want us anywhere near their place, which I get. Plus, we have buses going in and out, and I'm thinking about athletics on the weekend, so it's going to be a dance. We're going to coordinate. I don't think it's as big of a dance as what this gentleman just dealt with this summer, but that's, credit to him. But then October, the buses will start to be built, and we expect them at the earliest to be in December. And again, that's the 3 electric buses that were paid for by the EPA grant that your grant manager applied for.
Ms. Higgins.
In a moment of shout outs, along with being our business administrator and all that, Jack has been pretty much a full-time transportation guru for the past few weeks, trying to make a multitude of routes work with not enough drivers and no one in charge, and scared parents and frustrated teachers. So thank you.
Well, there's a good group of people up there, and we have good drivers, and I give them the credit. I just helped whenever there was an issue like the accident the other night, which nobody was hurt, but they need people on the ground, and people were running in different places. I said, I'll head over. So, and everybody was in good. So we're working on those communication plans and things. So it's lots to do.
2 7th graders FaceTime my kid to talk to me about the buses, and the 2 7th graders from Runlet want me to express that if the buses are running late, that they'd rather they be late to school than home. So I would be remiss if I didn't share that.
They'd rather show up late to school than late home. That's right. They want to get home on
I'll
time.
tell them.
Well, that's funny how you get the text about going to school. I get the text from their principal. You can tell them that, this bus came at 8:31, this came at 8:36.
We're lying.
That's every morning, so.
Mr. Richard wants them there at 8:25.
Yes, he does. Yeah. And I'm going to bet he's going to win out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just also like to add that Matt has been going up and helping out in the office as well to support them. It's the two of them have been a dynamic duo up there, and it's been appreciated from the office staff up there. Their voice, that it's been very helpful. So.
Thanks for stepping up, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. I think that's something that people don't always understand, is that people don't work in Concord that I've seen where they just come in and they do their job. They come in and they work where the work is needed, and it's very much appreciated. Not always acknowledged, but we do appreciate it, and we do see it, and we do thank you.
Awesome. Ms. Guerin, personnel. Oh, did we?
We moved the public comment.
Good evening.
We did it earlier.
Okay.
Direct you to page 42 of your board books. We do have one new teacher confirmation. It is a .6 music teacher at Runlet, who will also be covering at Krista McAuliffe, a .17, which is one class for music teacher at Runlet, Annalee Lombard.
Is there a motion?
I move acceptance of Annalee Lombard as the new Renlet Middle School / Crystal McAuliffe music teacher.
Moved by Ms. Robinson, second by Ms. Higgins. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Awesome.
And on pages 43, 44, 45, and the hand carry that I gave you this evening for fall coaches, we do have a number of fall sport coaches that will need confirmation.
I move the acceptance of the slate of fall coach confirmations as presented by Ms. Kieran.
With the addition of the
With the addition,
the paper handed out.
yes, thank you very
amendments.
much for that friendly amendment.
Yep. I'll second it.
Thank you.
Moved by Ms. Robinson, seconded by
It's our thing.
Ms. Higgins. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then Mr. Herbert will
So I
finish this out.
have two nominations for acting administrator confirmations. Chris Gallo, Concord High School acting principal. She does have 13 years of experience in our district as an acting principal. In addition to that, over a decade of experience at the high school level as a teacher and administrator. And second is Lindsay Nye as Krista McAuliffe, acting principal. Again, she has years of experience as an assistant principal level and special ed coordinator level at the elementary level, and has spent the past year working with Ms. Gallo at Krista McAuliffe School, very familiar with the school, and both of them possess the certification for the positions.
So I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations for the acting administrator positions so outlined.
Seconded.
Moved by Mr. Richards, seconded by Ms. Sadowski. Is there discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Assistant principal at Crystal McAuliffe, are you working on that?
We do currently have somebody in a
Special.
substitute sort of capacity.
Okay.
It is posted, so we are actively looking.
Okay, great, cool.
So did we move?
No, we have to
We're
vote.
gonna vote
Yeah.
now.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Monthly enrollment reports.
So I just have to express, this is a time of the year where these reports are going to fluctuate quite a bit. When we get to October, we start to head into more solid numbers. But what we are seeing, our numbers are up for the most part since August across all levels. There is one area where it did drop a little bit, but it's a few students. But we take this into consideration. We're looking at our classroom sizes. We're making sure we have the appropriate number of staff at all levels to support the student enrollment.
The kindergarten numbers at Krista McAuliffe are right at our
Yep.
our guidelines, so which I think allow for the addition of some teaching assistant.
We were talking about that today. We've been talking, actually, first we looked at what did Krista McAuliffe School have on site for current
And Beaver
staff.
Meadow, too,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what we do have posted currently is an instructional assistant at the kindergarten level for general ed to explore having someone to be able to come in and assist the teacher in the classroom.
And this is within your contingency
C
budget
funds. Yep.
of the superintendent.
This is within the contingency funds of the superintendent.
Thank you very much.
Have we looked at all at third grade at Abbott Downing and Broken Ground? Looks to me like if we were to add one, I know you can't add a new class now, but if we added extra help in those classes, it would make the numbers a little bit more like McAuliffe and Beaver Meadow.
We have looked at the numbers at this point in time. Again, we wouldn't be looking to necessarily add a teaching
Teacher.
staff, it would be exploring what we have available for instructional assistance.
We don't have an abundance of
To
those.
those
do we?
either, no, but we will continue to explore solutions to that. We do want teachers to feel supported and have that level of support. It is a challenge to manage that. We have wonderful teachers, though. We really do.
Please let us know if there's anything you need from us
Absolutely.
to get those positions filled.
Can I ask one more question? Dr. Herbert, the preschool classes, I see here, are they within the numbers and the totals that you had previously planned, and are they adequately staffed?
I will have to get back to you as far as previously planned.
Okay.
It is my belief adequately staffed at this time.
Okay.
Ms. Mosca says yes as well.
Mosca's?
Yeah, they are rough numbers, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. I just wanted to check on that.
Oh, yeah, especially with littles.
I just want to draw attention to the CRTC numbers because they are
Yeah.
down.
Would you like me to speak to that?
Yeah,
So
I think it's important for
this
people
is-
to know why they're down.
CRTC numbers are down, and I want to emphasize that this is not because of CRTC's reluctance to accept students or us not having enough seats or not having the staffing. Districts are struggling with the loss of funding and trying to determine how they're going to proceed to support this career and technical education, send their students to Concord High, and still put out a balanced budget. So districts have capped how many students they'll send to us. Even if we accept them, they set numbers and they have capped. In another meeting, I could share with you exactly where the reductions are coming from. But we anticipated this last year. They gave Ann a heads up that this is an approach that they would likely be taking when they were setting their budget for the 25-26 school year.
So there are students who were accepted who are not, who got
No.
letters saying they can't come because their district is capped.
So, and a question to follow up on that, are there students at Concord High that we were not able to offer these classes to that could now potentially be attending?
So what Ann has done is reviewed all applicants and essentially has put the offer out there. It's students come in, they have their primary program, sometimes she gets turned down if it's a secondary program. In addition, that Concord High students, it really has not been a struggle to get in. I'm not going to say that she accepts 100% of the students who apply, but we're healthily represented, and I think that she's done that. She's considered any student who from CHS has applied.
All right, thank you very much for that.
So if I could give a little information to that, so using last year's numbers, just to understand what's happening, is you have three different components. What happens, you have the 75% portion from that the state's supposed to pay of tuition, 25% from the local district. Last year, the state paid 56% of its 75% contribution. So when that falls short, what happens is we bill a third bill, which is called the differential. And that is what's hurting the districts because the state's not covering their portion, and then they get a supplemental bill for a number of students, and it's a lot. We've done a whole breakdown of that, and
That's frustrating.
that's what's
Is
contributing.
this the New Hampshire advantage that everyone talks about? Yeah.
Yeah, so just so you know of what's precipitating this.
Can you repeat the percentages one more time? I'm sorry.
So last year, again, it should be a 75 state
75.
portion, 25% local portion.
Yep.
They paid 56% of their 75%,
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you.
okay?
Calendars.
Looking at upcoming monthly meetings. So for the month of September, I'm looking at that calendar. We do have the building committee meeting on the 10th at 5:30 here in the boardroom. Thursday, the Chamber of Commerce State of the City Schools at CHS Gratitude for 7:45 a.m. Going into the week of the 15th, we have the instructional committee at 5:30. September 17th, our communication policy meeting. Some of the open houses, although ADS, BMS, Abbott Downing School, Beaver Middle School, Broken Ground, and Millbrook will hold their open house on the 18th. Krista McAuliffe School and RMS did move theirs from the 4th, so that staff and families would not have to choose between services and an open
RMS
house.
is tomorrow night.
Yep,
Yes,
I was
at
gonna.
5. Well, Meet the Coaches starts at 5, and then it's open house.
RMS, yep, RMS. I believe is it 5:30 or is it 5?
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, it's 5:30 for open house.
Is the 9th, and Krista McAuliffe School has moved theirs to the 25th at 5 o'clock. Saturday the 21st, we have the Sunday the 21st, my bad. We have the Multicultural Festival at Keach Park, the 11 a.m., and we have the Executive Committee the following week on Monday the 22nd at 5, followed by Finance at 5:30. Then we have the City and Community meeting on Wednesday the 24th at 5, special board meeting at 5:30. And again, I said earlier, the 25th is Krista McAuliffe School's rescheduled open house. And that would bring us into October's meetings.
I can't attend it. I'll be out of state on the 24th. So I just want to make sure that doesn't mess up anything with the special. board
Okay.
meeting.
Do we need a quorum?
And I'm not here either.
Ooh, now we should,
I mean, we do.
We need,
We do.
we need 7.
do we, can we accept remote?
Yes, we can.
Possibly do
Okay,
remote?
I can definitely dial in.
Anyone else who can't be here?
I'll be here.
Do you want me to call you?
We might.
The
Yeah,
tea?
we may need.
I'll bring my tea.
Okay.
I'd have to get that special permission to be able to use my stuff.
Oh,
right?
that's not the, that is not the.
That's not our,
That
that's
is
not our
not-
budget
Oh,
meeting.
that's-
That is not, we're
difference,
jumping
we're
ahead of
ahead,
on, so you
sorry.
don't
The
probably
special
need-
board meeting is okay, we don't need to worry
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah,
On the
the one
24th.
we're concerned about is October.
What's the
29th.
What's the 24th?
It was to follow up on the building
Oh,
committee
that's
meeting.
right, that's right. Okay, so we're in October now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the
29th
29th
I'm
is the
here.
one that we need
Yeah.
7.
Yes, I will be here for that.
I'll be here for that one.
Okay.
Ditto.
Capital facilities on the 1st, board meeting on the 6th, communications and policy on the 8th, building on the 9th, no school on the 10th for students, and the 13th, negotiations and finance on the 15th, executive committee and instructional committee on the 20th, city and community on the 22nd, and a full board meeting to finalize budget at 5:30 PM on the 29th, where we do need people. And so, great, Mr. Richards.
Yes, with regards to the Memorial Field project, Mr. Gill had requested to be able to make a presentation to us sometime in October after
thought we
the
were gonna-
6th.
After the 6th.
Right, so, he did not want to make it in the 6th, he was looking for sometime after that, so, I would ask that, that the board reach out to him and find out when it would be
Can we
appropriate.
reach out to Mr. Gill and find out when he's thinking of and why he can't do the 6th when we're gonna be here? Nicely.
Where's,
I mean, it
I
might
mean,
be.
just coming to the board, the full board.
The board to make a
It might be a
presentation.
city council night, he might
I
not be able to
believe he
bill.
was out of the country.
Or he might
was
have.
traveling.
yeah,
So let's reach out to him and find a date for that prior to our,
Yeah.
What we, in looking at how to make it so we're not coming to 9 million extra meetings, we have executive committee on the 20th, which puts like 4 people here already. If we put the city and community after that and put instructional on Wednesday, then a chunk of the board's already here. We could have our city and community right after executive and he could make a presentation then.
At 6 o'clock?
Switch them? Fine
Yeah.
with me.
Or 5:30.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That way,
does
that way,
work?
there's a chunk of people here already, right? So
Okay,
it's-
so
it's like we did before.
So full board we can offer him the 20th then.
yeah.
Yep.
So that
Swap. And instructional, go to the 22nd.
instructional will go to the 22nd to accommodate for.
Because then the executive committee's already here, and then you
The
add.
city community is the
Yeah.
perfect
Given-
foil
so
for.
given the date, the 20th.
So, yeah, give them the
Right.
20th. Monday, October 20th would be the best.
Yeah, that was a good call, Barb.
Yeah, very nice.
Master schedule there.
Anything else
Exactly.
on the
Should be
calendar?
transportation director.
They're accepting applications.
With that, I am going to make a motion to go into non-public under 91A5, personal school records of pupils, and 91A32, personnel, and C, personnel, and E, litigation.
Second?
Moved by me, second by Ms. Robinson. This is a roll call vote.
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Hastings?
Yes.
Ms. Higgins?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Sadowski?
Yes.
Ms. Walsh?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Great.
May I ask for a brief recess?
We can
for 5
take a
minutes?
brief 5-minute recess while people leave, and then we can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.